This is a Matos Designs production.
Like your line, I like your prices. There's a problem. There's no guarantee on the box.
You can't hang out with chickens and expect to soar with eagles.
Where's my tracking number?
And here are your hosts,
JR and Brian.
And I am not done! Part 5!
What is up, Brian? So
how's it going? Dude, look. Hey, guess what?
Titty twister.
Is that football season already?
It is football season, preseason, baby. We already lost to
Great.
James.
Now our Christmas light podcast is going to be mostly about the Chiefs. Did you get a haircut? Are you ready for SoCal? You need to get a haircut.
I didn't get a haircut. I haven't trimmed my beard. I'm going down there as a bum because I'm going to make some money on the corner.
Okay.
I'm going to put it. I need to get back to Montana. I need a cardboard sign.
We got a guy waiting to come in here, so let's
get
this over with.
I didn't know how long you wanted to talk. I can talk for days.
We know this, Brian. Bobby, who listens to this, knows Brian could talk a lot. He's seen you in real life. So before I wanted to do this before we got somebody in here and with their mini, because it's another mini episode. I wanted to talk about the light show con, the mini at sea, whatever else we call it. We call it like 12 names because we think it's cool. It's coming up in June next year. We're leaving out of Florida. We're going on a big boat. It is a freaking awesome boat.
Allure of the Seas.
And we are going to have a great time. And see,
Oasis class.
Is Brian will be there and he'll talk a lot. Because even right now I have it set up to like our screen should be changing to speaker view. But guess what? It's not because Brian's making so much noise. It's still on him. So that's great. Anyways, now he's like covering his mic. Okay. So yeah. If you haven't signed up for the Mini at Sea Christmas light show con yet, you should do it. The boat is filling up, which means we had a select amount of rooms. We added more because it was being so popular. And we still have those ones available, but the boat just gave us a warning that they're going to start taking our rooms that we have saved if we don't book them.
Don't worry, I'm calling my travel agent right now.
So if you're thinking about doing it, it is time to book. Hit up our website, miniatsea.com, if that works. I should be more prepared, making sure that's working properly, and sign up today so you can make sure you be on there. It is going to be awesome. It's a lot of fun, right, Brian?
Are you done? Can I speak
I am
now?
done.
Can I talk
you
now?
Can talk now.
It is. It's going to be a blast. The shows this spring were incredible. The mini that we had, I mean, it didn't take away from the festivities on the boat. It was like the perfect amount of time. We did a scavenger hunt, and I don't know, I got lit looking for
In Search of Sasquatch is on.
for the picture.
Oh my God. Oh,
it was a good
scavenger
time.
hunt. That's right. You were.
Yeah. I was MIA, made my daughter mad. She was yelling at me. I think you were filming her yelling at me because I was at the bar getting red drinks. And
yes, I was celebrating and winning. All right.
Yeah. Should we let our guest in?
Yes, we should.
Okay.
I believe you have to now because I don't have that ability.
All right. He should be coming in. There he is.
You should introduce him when he comes in.
This is James Martin. He is one of the committee members for the Mid-Atlantic Animated Lighting Group. There we go. I knew I was going to screw that up, James. I'm sorry. I was introducing you while you were coming in.
Welcome to the podcast, James.
Welcome. Let's hear it. You got me?
Yep. We got you. Did you hear the?
How are we doing? I decided to set up in the shop today since this was more of a workshop group and do-it-yourself thing. So it doesn't exactly lend itself to working someplace other than the workbench. So
that's what I got too.
Hey, I like it. I like it.
Every episode, what I played with, because then it's still messy.
It works. It works. A workshop should always be messy. That's what I keep telling everybody.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm always here somewhere.
It works.
Man
I
cave.
thought about the green screen thing. So
yeah, Brian likes the green screen because he likes to do that Simpson thing where he kind of disappears into it sometimes and then comes out.
Green screen.
Well, you don't want to see what's behind me other than my shadow box, but everything else is a disaster. So
That's just one room in
That
the
works.
So thank you for coming on, James. And I am going to ruin the name of your mini because it's very long.
It is. Yeah, we're trying to come up with a very aptly themed name for our Mid-Atlantic Animated Lighting Group. So MAALG is what we call it. So feel free to shorten it down to MAALG if that makes it easier. But yeah, we had a region of the area that just wasn't, we didn't have a whole lot of things going on. Steve and I became fast friends. Steve's very popular in the lighting community. He's got lots of really cool videos out there. So we figured that, why not the two of us start up a group that's kind of the Mid-Atlantic area, because there wasn't a whole lot. There's some North Carolina groups. There was an older group that was Central and South Virginia that had kind of gotten a little bit defunct. So we were like, well, we'll see if we can get something going for the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, and just keep kind of growing. So we had our first couple of people drove up from North Carolina last weekend.
Wow.
This
Nice.
weekend was our fifth MAALG Mini, and we had a guy come in from New Jersey. So we're starting to spread out a little bit, and of course we got a ton of people. Our membership just here in the Maryland, Virginia, DC areas is about 350, 400 people. So still looking to get that big with our mini. So our mini was last week, had about 30 to 40 people there, and lots of different topics. We kind of go where the group likes to lead us. So
very cool. So how did you guys do in the mini?
Just kind of saw a need. Obviously, anybody that's ever been to Christmas Expo or Halloween Expo, knows that a lot of it is about the networking, kind of knowing who's in your neighborhood, who's doing something similar, and the sharing of ideas. And I have no proprietary knowledge, so I like to share whatever I learn. Steve's obviously the same way with all of his videos. So we were like, well, maybe we can get something started with our group here in the Mid-Atlantic area, and maybe pass on some cool knowledge at the same time.
Very cool.
That is awesome.
Like,
yeah, I noticed. Oh, sorry.
It's okay, Brian. This is normal for Brian, James.
Well, your lips were moving, but nothing was coming out. So,
God, Brian.
but I did notice that this is your 5th annual. So, congrats on that. How many people did you start out with at your first mini? Was it just a handful in the garage, or?
No, we've had a really good showing. A lot of people around here love to travel to see other people's show. So as soon as like our very first one, I think we were probably around 20, 25. The space that we fit in, we were able to infect Steve's church. And they also caught the lighting bug. So Vine Church Lights is a thing. The church actually has their own light show that Steve actually helps produce. And that's actually one of the first times that Steve and I really did a kind of our first kind of mini, if you want to call it that, because the two of us hooked up as we were convincing the church to do a light show. So we turned around and we did a 101 crash course into, hey, this is a pixel, this is a channel, of course everybody's eyes completely glaze over when we start talking about that. But we were able to convince a bunch of people. They've got a great show. Vine Church Lights, I think is what it's called. But Steve also does that show and his own show. So Steve actually does like 2 shows every year. But so that was kind of our first one, I guess you can kind of say. But we all travel, so it was really easy to take over the church on a Saturday, and so it's a free venue. So we don't even charge for our event, completely free. We ask people to bring food or drinks and that kind of stuff. But other than that, it's just come and share ideas.
Very cool. I love free minis.
There is no such thing as a free mini.
That's like my favorite thing, because it's getting people there to learn more stuff and becoming like, the hobby is 90% like the community of the hobby, and us all helping each other grow into something better. It's cool when the event's free and more people could go, because this hobby is expensive. So like, if you want to go learn and you have to pay to go learn, it also makes it harder to do more when you only have a set budget for your Christmas lights. So
That's true. Yeah, you got to figure out where your where your specialties lie, and being able to bring in bigger people, that do the big presentations like you see at Christmas Expo, and it's like, okay, those people are really shelling out money in their time to be able to do that. A lot of our stuff is all volunteer, so even all of our presenters, it's we always open up to the membership, say, hey, what do you guys want to learn about this year? What do you have problems with? Or I will take no credit in the fact that we peruse all the other minis and say, oh, everybody's talking about whatever, and so we're like, hey, maybe we can talk about that too. So we do a little bit of that, but a lot of our presentations this year, it was kind of weird. Our very first presenter, actually our first two presenters, were kind of not really in the Christmas lights theme. Is last year we had a lot of questions about 3D printing. So we actually did we went around the room, talked about who we were, where we're coming from, what our shows are like, and then spun 180 degrees, and we're like, let's talk about 3D printing. So we have a guy that knows a lot about that, so he came and gave us a great presentation on that. Went right from that into a presentation about animatronics and the 12-foot spooky head kit that's out there now.
I saw that on I think you guys posted it afterwards on Facebook, and I was like, that is awesome. I need that to my 12-foot. I actually messaged the guy who taught your class and was like,
yes
for me, because I don't have time to do this myself. And he's like, I don't have time this year. And I'm like, damn it. Because I was like, I'll pay you to do it. I'll send you my head.
Yeah, head.
I'll pay you to do it. Have the time this year to tackle a project that actually takes some time to like figure out. So I thought that was really cool.
David Wood is amazing. He's got a great show up in Maryland. We love to have his knowledge, his experience to show stuff on that. But yeah, he did a great presentation on it. We even brought it, so it was sitting up on the stage, moving and doing the animation. So that was a really cool one, but it's not really Christmas related. But it's all do it yourself stuff, right? So a lot of us use Halloween kind of to prep for Christmas, and that was it kind of turned out to be kind of more of our theme this year. It was, hey, throw in a Halloween show if you haven't already, type of thing. So, but yeah, we had amazing presenters. Mike Barsky, he did a thing for the virtual Christmas summit a couple of years ago on singing faces and that type of stuff. So he actually gave two back-to-back really cool presentations on AI and how AI is doing like an animated faces, as well as how AI is helping to do, pull out not lyric tracks, but voice tracks from music, and how he was kind of incorporating that in some of the shows this year. So we have some cool people. We have a lot of cool people, but have some people that are recognizable fairly well within the lighting community, and so that's really cool too. Had our very first sponsor actually come in person last year, so Minor, that's doing all of his pixel stuff. He was there last year. Actually came and did a presentation about some of his new stuff, and then we had Christmas Decoro, which is a new Virginia-based guy that's actually starting his Coro cutting process. So he came and gave us a nice little walk through his stuff. But lots of amazing sponsors, including these guys right here. That's always a good draw for people. Be like, hey, we've got this product and that product to be able to show. And so that's always a big plus. And so definitely a big shout out to all of our sponsors. It take me like half an hour to talk about the greatness that all of those guys are, because they really do a lot, and it's part of as a mini organizer, that really helps us out, to say, hey, we're not just a bunch of kooks. Well, we kind of are, but these other kooks are supplying us stuff. So
yeah, we're all kooks. So do you guys do anything like the Friday night before? Do you have a little get together before and set up, and then roll Saturday into the mini?
No, not usually. We did the first year, and then found out that that was kind of a bit overkill. A lot of our guys, a lot of our members are nearby, so we actually we open the church at about 8 a.m. and then we set up for about an hour. So that kind of gives. Mainly, we do that because we have several people that are coming either from Southern Virginia, with the North Carolina people. They were driving for like 4 hours for this.
Wow.
I was like, man, I really hope really hope they really enjoyed it, because that was like 8 hours on the road, and, for a 1 day, thing. But they left with lots of swag, so I guess there's that part too.
Oh, heck yeah.
Good.
Yeah, no, we don't really do that. What we'll do is we'll start getting, in Halloween, and then as we get into Christmas, we'll actually start getting group gatherings of people, and we'll actually start going to everybody's house. So,
That's cool.
like most community groups, we have a spreadsheet that has a lot of our members' addresses on it, and we'll say, okay, this is the path that we're taking, and we usually get like through like 2 houses because we stop and talk, and then it's like, oh wow, we were supposed to do like 8 of them today.
Yep.
But yeah, so we will start gathering more kind of like that, Halloween, for those shows that do Halloween, and then obviously Christmas. So, but no, it's a one and done type of thing. But it's one of the things that we've thought about. But like I said, that would be a pretty small group, and we don't really want to have people have to either hotel rooms or that type of thing. So
No, it's a very good mini. It sounds like it's a lot of people are learning stuff, and it's helping people. That's what they're supposed to do. Funny story though is I went last year to go look at everybody's house around here with my family, and then I was like, I'm not telling anybody I'm coming. So I went, I took pictures, videos, and then I post them later. Then everybody's like, how come you didn't come say hi? I was like, because I would have never saw them all. I would have saw one tonight, and I had goals.
yeah, precisely, and especially when you start getting in with your family, you're like, oh, I want to watch the whole series again. The kids in the back are like, oh my god, like, come on. It's like, and so it's like, you just got to get the light people together, and then we sneak through and see everybody's houses, and
Very cool. Let's see. Name your sponsors that you had, because it's good to recognize the guys who give you stuff if you want to go through them all, just to thank them again for helping you out and stuff like that. We don't.
Yeah, putting me on the spot here, man. I'm going to reference my cheat sheet, because I definitely don't want to leave anybody out.
I was gonna go to the group page and see if they were listed on there to help you out if you needed. So
Brian got you covered. It's all good.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see here. So we actually had 18 sponsors this year. Obviously Matos was in there. Visionary Light Shows, Fairy Pixel Dust, Pixel Pro Displays, Extreme Sequences, Showstopper Sequences, Your Pixel Store, Inspire Light Shows, Gilbert Engineering, RGB Sequences, BF Lighting Shows, Wally's, Bosco.io, RGB Man, Vivid Sequences, Innovative Sequences, Sequence Solutions, and SFL Designs. And I think there was one more that snuck in there. Oh, like I said, Holiday Decoro got in there as well. And massive
Pro
apologies.
Displays.
That's on me.
He said PPD.
Oh, did he? Okay, I missed that. So I was trying to go through them as he was saying them. So,
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, very cool. That's a ton of them.
Yeah, Steve is awesome. Steve is our sponsorship guy. So he's always out there hustling for us. So he works a lot and makes those connections. So I'll have Steve here next time, and he'll be able to rock everybody probably by memory. And he's like, yeah. So that's his thing.
That's cool though.
I just get up and talk. That's what I'm really bad at, obviously. So
nice. So do you guys start out the morning with who you are, what your display is, and do you guys show them on the screen, or you just kind of just talk about them?
We tried doing what we normally do is, well, first thing is, hey, introductions, get everybody kind of, usually with like a pixel count or how long they've been in, especially for some of us who've been, around for 4 and 5 years. we'll say, hey, tell us something new or something that happened in the last year. It doesn't necessarily have to be lighting specific, but and obviously a geographic area, because it's like, oh, that guy's right down the street from me, and I didn't even know, because we had 2 or 3 people. Well, we had probably more than that. I think we had 5 people this is their first year or 2. So they're still learning the pain that the rest of us have gone through for many years, some of our people decades. So to get started off with introductions, a quick crash course on what the days we're thinking. Obviously, our day is super flexible. We have a couple, all of our presenters kind of all shift depending on if we have more questions for one guy, less questions for another. And then we kind of launched right into it. So like I said, our first one was 3D printing, and then we had a guy come in and talk about projector mapping, which was something that people talked about a lot about having interest in. So that was fun to have him, because he doesn't have any pixels, and so he was like, oh, so he was listening, to our pixel RGB stuff. He's like, oh, I wonder if I can kind of do that, in addition to his projector mapping show. So he's got a great show, here in Northern Virginia. So that was cool to talk about a different topic that a lot of people are starting to. Obviously, we hear it a lot. We talk about it a lot online when the New Year's stuff comes through, and you see Arc de Triomphe, and obviously Disney, in Abu Dhabi, the giant building that's in Abu Dhabi that does the giant light show. But everything is we, like I said, we have everybody bring in some food. So that was 2 or 3 presentations in. That's when we had our sponsors talk, broke for food, which is another kind of big social time, especially the people that are coming in from out of town that had the longer drive that may have missed like the morning show and tell type of thing. So we have a bunch of stuff that people like to bring, if it's like, hey, this doesn't fit in my show anymore, or I thought it would and now it doesn't. So we've got like a swap area and freebies and all that kind of stuff that other members bring. Or guy always brings his moving heads, because that's still a big interest of people. And so he has got a couple moving heads that he kind of sets up in the back corner and talks about all the things that are involved with it, including moving heads into your show. So including breaking servos, which is also a thing on the head thing. So if you're interested in doing the head thing, make sure you protect your servos. So
my truck is actually filled like over the top of the bed right now, ratchet strapped down with my old Coro from my house to go to the SoCal Mini tomorrow, because they all want it. So my truck is packed. Hopefully,
nice. Well,
wrap down.
We approve. I thank you in advance of them, because that's awesome. We it's you can never have enough Coro, right? It's kind of like pixels. So
oh yeah,
sure. I'm surprised actually Mike was not teaching anything about Halloween. Like, had to have Monster Mike teaching Christmas stuff. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it was. To be completely honest, his song that he was talking about was actually a Halloween song. So it's I can't ruin his rep too much, because it really was actually a Halloween thing. But
did he hand?
I'm sorry.
He hand out stickers.
Yes, I think he did. So I think
here, have a sticker.
I actually got one of them sitting right there. So from a couple of years ago.
That's the best thing. Non-vendor, but always has really cool stickers.
He does. Yeah.
He knows what's up.
It was funny. He was talking about the AI thing, and his image is a mummy, right? And so the AI tool couldn't identify like a mouth for the mummy. So his AI didn't, or the AI tool couldn't animate his mummy graphic with the audio. So that was one of the things that he threw out during his presentation. He's like, you may have to have a well-defined mouth so that the AI knows how to do it. He's like, it doesn't do toilet paper, apparently.
I'll never use toilet paper in anger again.
Wow.
That sounds like a really cool class to know
It
how
was.
guy to.
I happen to know a guy. He may be able to do it for you.
I know, huh? Yeah. So you have the virtual Christmas summit shirt on. Are you involved this year with it?
I not officially. I like to poke fun at people while they're doing their Zoom sessions. That's a lot more fun. See if you can distract them. See if they silence their phone or not. You're like, oh, that was my ding. So just FYI.
I am famous for that. And the old
Yeah.
Wednesday night thing when somebody was teaching something, countless times I would be like calling them, and not on purpose. It was just I was calling them, and then I didn't realize they were in that class. Sometimes I was literally in that class and was like, I need to call David. I'm like, oh, David's teaching this class, and then his phone's ringing, and then he's getting mad at me. So yeah, I'm famous for that. That's hilarious. That's good.
Yours is better, well intentioned. Mine was pretty evil intentioned.
No, there was, and I realized I could do this. I was doing it on purpose too. Trust, it's fun.
It's hilarious to those who know what's going on.
Yeah. So anything else about your mini that you want to point out? Do you know when your next one is?
We do not. Yeah, that part of working with the church is making sure that we're on their schedule and that type of thing. So we're kind of like I said, we're kind of one of the later minis and that kind of come through. We usually try to aim for June or July. Usually it gets pushed July into August because the church is doing summer camps and stuff that's going on weekends. So we're beholden to their schedule a lot, but actually that we're always trying to find different locations. So our we have a lot of membership that's up in the Maryland area, and of course they've been driving for 5 years essentially to here to Northern Virginia. Wow. To do the mini. So we're always looking for a new place, and like I said, it's always we try to keep it free, and so find a venue that we can do that, so that the only thing you're really out is either gas money or box of donuts.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty cool idea that you guys are considering possibly like different locations, so then it's closer maybe one year to these guys, and then maybe you get more people from that area. Then next year maybe it goes back to where it was or something. That's actually a cool concept. I never even thought about that.
Yeah, when you're small, you can move around kind of like that. So I would assume that Christmas Expo would be kind of hard to be like, oh, let's shift it 50 miles. That
here. Christmas Expo moves every year, and it's hard to.
Yes.
I like it. It's good. Different people come to it. I think it's a good business thing to have it move every year, but it's frustrating having like that regular, like I'm going to ship it to this event and it's easy and all this stuff when you have a booth. But yeah, Christmas Expo moves every year, and it's good.
And there's different rules on shipping and when to ship it and how to get it. Yeah. Good times. So can you go through the committee members that you have? I know you kind of briefly mentioned a couple. So how many people actually are helping you and Steve put this on?
Yeah, I mean, it started with just the two of us, and we probably ran it that way for 2 or 3 years. And then, we had a year that Steve was super busy with work. So I took a lot more of the load that year. And then after that, we're like, why are we making it this difficult on us? So yeah, we ended up reaching out. We had 2 or 3 people really come through and say, hey, we really want to help. So we've included them. So our group is now up to about 6 or 7, plus Steve and I that kind of do all the show, running the show. So we can break all the tasks up. So somebody gets, somebody helps us do all of our online registration. We have somebody that does all of our kind of our food coordination, because we had one year that we had like 12 boxes of donuts and like forks, and it was like, hey, that's very sugary, but not quite what we were thinking. So, and then, and obviously, other people in our core group, David Wood, Mike Barsky, they were the two that David Wood was one that did the moving head. Mike Barsky obviously does the lyric track stuff, and then Shane McClung is kind of our big guy that's really stepped into kind of a co-host type position. So Shane's the one that kind of gets us back on track. You gotta have that one person that's like, hey, you want to do a mini this year? Like, oh yeah, we got to start doing that. So Shane's kind of, he's our alarm clock. So
NorCal needs an alarm clock. Me and Tom kind of go back and forth on, like, I hosted it one year because Tom had a lot going on, and then Tom went back to hosting it at his house, and then his house keeps getting farther away from everybody, bigger and fancier.
Sounds strategic, actually.
But then he has like a room big enough for us to just be in his house. So, but I don't know. We need maybe more organization. That's probably a good idea. Getting more.
You can't have Shane. I'm sorry. You'll have to recruit your own.
You got to find somebody. I'm going to volunteer people.
Tons of NorCal people up there.
There is a lot of us, but we're so unorganized.
Oh my God, such a hoarder.
Like, we even just started a new group for like the Bay Area people. I don't even know if we're going to have a mini for that. I don't know. It's getting crazy.
Start small. I think that's the, you kind of have to recognize what your market is. It's like, hey, okay, we're just going to do like an afternoon or an evening thing and see kind of where it goes. I know that, it's society in general kind of that it's, nobody RSVPs until the last minute type of thing. And people who actually come through and say, hey, yeah, it's a month out. I'll say I'll be going to be there. Those people are pretty rare anymore. So start small. That would be my biggest tip, and say, and kind of let the group decide, because when the group comes up with the idea and then you modify it to fit whatever you want it to do, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
So
that's advice for anybody who's thinking about having a mini somewhere, or worried because they don't have a mini, and then they're like, oh, maybe we should. There's enough people. That's
and tie in amazing sponsors. Get them to help do that kind of stuff. I know we made there's a couple we got a little bit more cross member pollination type of thing from some of the a lot of the vendors have like a website that says, hey, these are the upcoming events that are going on. So that helps us out, brings in new memberships, and then all those, and that's also helps us keep everybody kind of in the loop with all the new stuff. So
that's cool.
I can't say enough to all of our sponsors, because it's huge. I mean, it's a big expense, and like you said, shipping stuff back and forth, that's all money. And we appreciate that, and make sure that we always reach out and make sure we get you a big thanks. And if you didn't, holler at me and I'll get on Steve.
I'll holler. He said holla.
Yeah. And I'm not speaking for all the vendors, but like we do it to help people and to help grow the hobby and stuff like that. One question though, you said you had like 2 new people, 3?
Yes.
Did they?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Say it again.
They win something?
Oh yeah. Yeah. One of them. One of them got a couple of the different controllers that were sent in. One of them got the PermaTrack that was sent. So they had lots of ideas going their direction. Oh, I use it for this. Oh, I use it for that. And you could just see their eyes going like wide in the headlights as we were coming up with all these random ideas. But yeah, that's one of the great things about having that many sponsors, is everybody was able to walk away with the prize. And we've been really fortunate that we've had that kind of support from all of our sponsors. So that's great.
That's my big thing too. Like, we always try to send enough stuff that hopefully everybody could go home with something, and especially the new people, because I think that's like a huge thing. Like, I've been to so many minis where somebody new gets something and they're so stoked, or like they didn't know how to start, and then they're like, okay, I have this, so now I could do this, So it's cool when that's like, I'm excited that new people got stuff. That's like our big thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Always. Yeah.
Or
we get, that's, everybody's got to catch the bug somehow. And if it's, something to get the process started, be like, oh, I'd never even thought about doing something that this controller can do, or expanding into a different part of my yard or whatever. This is a money limiting hobby. So getting something that kind of helps kind of, it's your alarm clock, help get you moving and get you started to get your display up and running.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's very cool. Brian, got any more questions?
Did you guys, after the mini and stuff, did you guys just wrap up, or did you do dinner or anything like that afterwards?
Yeah, no, it's a wham damn, you're done type of thing.
Wham bam! What the
Hey!
f happened?
thing.
Just
So
I just keep asking all the wrong questions.
Brian's bragging into more because I think he's like, maybe I should go next year, but I want to do more.
Just quick
hey,
and easy.
man, Northern Virginia, there's a lot of stuff to do.
And I was trying to get Robert Petty to go up there, and he's like, "Man, that's a 6-hour drive," and I'm like, "I'll pay for your gas, man." He's like, "Well,
my money again?
No, huh?
Spending my money?
Well, I got your card, so I mean, yeah, I just float him that. So.
You're still using the corporate credit card, you dummy.
But no, he said it was.
This is sounding better and better.
Yeah, right. But yeah, he said it was like a 6 or 7 hour drive for him one way. So it's just like, all right. So because I had forgotten all about it, because normally as soon as I get contacted, I make an order, put the date on it, put the name on it, send mini stuff. And then it got lost in all of the other orders that we had. And I saw a post from somebody else. So I tagged, and it was on the official X-Lite support group. And I tagged Robert in it. I'm like, hey, man, this would be awesome if you could go to this. It's after, the Carolinas mini. And that's when we got talking about it. And then I'm like, wait a minute. We got to get stuff sent to that place. So I'm telling JR, I'm like, hey, man, I just printed out the packing slip. Get this boxed up.
You can send them overnight delivery.
You're going to first start shipping boxes?
And he's, he does all the throwing the stuff in the bags and seals them up. And I mean, I heard, and I don't know if it was from the Mid-Atlantic group, but there was a group that I guess it was just every time somebody won one, everything stopped until they opened it and had to pull out what they got.
Should we just keep opening up the presents?
Because it was a surprise. Nobody knew what was in there. And I'm like, that is just the coolest thing I've ever heard. Was that you guys?
We also did that, because they came in these black bags, and we're like, well, this could be really cool, or this could be, a box of macaroni and cheese, which also happened. So that was hilarious. So
that's one of our right here. So.
We had one of our more senior guys win that, and he's like, I got a box of mac. We're like, oh yeah, that's the macaroni and cheese that they throw in their boxes when they ship them. So, yeah, that was great. It was lots of fun. So that was, it was very clever. Hats off. That was a cool way to do product. Yeah, but yeah. At the end of the evening, we just kind of pack up, put the church back together, because they actually have an evening service that they have to be ready for. So kind of put all the chairs back together, and then go out, and everybody kind of breaks for home. So
nice.
Well,
kind of
awesome.
But we're really close to Dulles, so anybody's welcome to fly into Dulles. We have lots of people that would be more than happy to drive somebody over. So if airfare is cheaper than 6 hours in the car or more in Chisa, we'd be happy to run an airport shuttle and bring you over. So
I had to say that airport. My wife's family lives over in that area, so I'm gonna watch this and be like, we could go.
There you go. Twofer.
Yeah. She already.
Dulles and Reagan. If you ask real nice, somebody may drive to Baltimore. Actually, probably our Maryland people probably are pretty close to that. So any one of our 3 major airports here, we'd love to have you. So
yeah, that's cool.
And it goes for anybody, sponsors or just random people. Like I said, we're trying to grow it,
and that's the whole idea of JR and I doing these podcasts, is try to get the words out there, because there could be somebody 3 hours away. And we always get told after the fact, oh man, I didn't even know they were having a mini.
We're having a sidewalk mini.
What's their group? So we try to mention, their Facebook group, so they can get that joined and stuff. And I mean, we get that all the time. Man, I wish I would have known about that. We try to get out. There's a website that I go to that Matthew Eccles, always try not to mess up his last name, he does. And as long as he keeps it current, then, we're good. We need to get that website out and posted so people know when they're a mini, 3, 4, or 5 hours away, because it's worth just hanging out with people, like-minded people talking about the same stuff. I'm going to talk about the Chiefs because now it's football season.
Kansas City, Kansas City.
I had to throw it in there.
Hoorah.
Look at JR's face. So, but and that's why we want to get these podcasts, and that's why we want to do them right after, because I've been contacting Steve the last couple of days, and I know he's got some stuff going on. And I'm like, I really want to have somebody for the podcast, and he's like, well, reach out to James. And I apologize. I'm like, James who?
Or as James Brown would say, so hot.
So
that's the way it's Steve is a much better person to know. It's he's a lot more fun to talk to, but
no, you're doing awesome. So
you're talking 3 hours. I mean, I bumped into a guy the other day that has a light show here, even in Manassas, which is where my show is. And I'm like, do you know that we have an animated light group? He's like, nope. So yeah, it's all about for some reason our circles just hadn't quite intersected yet, so and that's where the sponsor websites or there's a couple of different ones. There's a back end one that's for organizers. So if you're somebody that's interested in organizing a mini, there's another Facebook group that's out there that I haven't seen much post about it, but that's one where a lot of the organizers will throw, hey, this worked, this didn't, which is kind of what lighting is all about anyway, so throwing out new ideas and getting the word out.
Yeah, I was looking for that group the other day because somebody brought up making like a group of people for minis, like to all be on the same page. I was like, there's already a Facebook group for that. I'm in it. And then I started searching and I'm like, I can't find it. And then all of a sudden, like, because I know Ed Smith originally made it, I tagged him in the post and was like, hey, what was this group? And then all of a sudden, like, I had to approve somebody getting in, and I was like, I don't have that kind of authority, but I'm like, oh, that's the group I was talking about. So it's going to start talking again. I don't remember what it's called now, but it's something holiday lighting something.
Organizers, holiday. Yeah, I think I usually start targeting organizers, and it's one of the ones that pop up for that. I don't know, but I haven't been on it recently.
Hey, there's a Facebook group to ask people questions and stuff like that. And if you run a mini, ask all the vendors, every single one of them, for stuff, because you never know. You may be the lucky time that Holiday Coro gives you something. I asked them every time. I asked them for the mini. I asked them for everything. I actually had a long conversation with him about the mini. I mean, the mini at sea, trying to get him to give something, and he didn't. But then I saw like 2 weeks later, he gave something for a mini. And I was like, maybe I got to him, and then it hasn't happened lately. So I don't know if nobody's asked him since then or if not, but ask everybody, because it's good. Like, you'll get new people, and it's really cool watching them get stuff. Like, yeah, it's fun watching the old guy that's been doing this for 12 years get stuff, but the new guy, he's super excited. The guy that's been doing this for a long time is like, I have that, but now I got to buy more lights. Okay.
Well, the new guys, you can start seeing their
the
wheels turning, a little bit of smoke rolling out of the ears. Where am I going to use this at? Or, so, and that's what's cool. So,
yeah, being able to share it and, like you said, kind of grease the wheels a little bit to get things started. That's an added plus, to being able to just get people there and talk about stuff that obviously intrigues and has infected us all. So
very cool. And thank you for you and Steve starting the minis and for your area and bringing all those people together. I think that's really cool, and I appreciate people that do that and do the mini stuff. I like that a lot. It's cool.
That is very cool.
Well, and thanks for having us on. Thanks for all the podcasts you guys are doing. That's something I could never do. I'm just not creative enough to be able to do like a weekly show or even monthly. I think I could come up with that's definitely not my thing. So there's lots of people that have been helped out. Professional Triers lives in infamy now with a lot of groups. So. Yeah, well, I'm honored to be part of it, and I'm going to go rub Steve's nose in the fact that I was on one of your podcasts.
Yeah, his own YouTube celebrity status there. He's got some.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, it's funny because when I reached out to Steve, you know, I'm like introducing myself. Hey, myself and J.R. Meadows, we do a podcast called Professional Triers. Not sure if you ever heard of it, but we would like to talk about your mini. He's like, duh. Well, of course I've heard and watched your podcast before. I mean, you know, we get what? I think we're up to 10 viewers now, maybe, something like that. So ish. So that's
the ones that forgot to log off from last week.
Probably so, yeah.
Bobby's actually on just letting it play every day at work.
Yeah, it's on repeat for him. So you just go over, he'll hear something new every time. So they're in the tire factory.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that was kind of funny. It's like, of course, and I'm like, I watched you on YouTube, you know, I don't know if you've ever watched me or us or whatever. So, but yeah.
I think that's one of the really funny things. You know, you'll bump into people. You know, Mike Barsky is like that. You'll bump into him just on the road. You'd have no idea. You know, it's like, oh, but I know who Mike Barsky is. You know, from from whatever, and I know Ron Howard. And, you know, you end up bumping into him. You're like, oh, he's like, are you into lighting too? He's like, yeah, just kind of. You know, so
a little bit.
Very cool.
And I think that's great. It's this is a hobby that anybody can do as long as they don't mind soldering their fingers together occasionally.
And your fingers gonna get stuck together like this.
Yeah, but we're almost got rid of that too. So we're making it really.
We're trying.
I'm trying to.
I still got my soldering iron right over here.
Yeah. The helping hands. I got them out in the garage. Keep the wires together.
But
they're called children. You don't usually keep them in the
garage. Well, they've been burned once or twice, so I get a big old negative on that. So that's why I had to go with the helping hands. Got the little pinchers.
Titty twister.
On it.
That's just because Brian doesn't know what he's doing.
No, I add so much and just let it splatter. So adds a little excitement, you know. Plus, it always smells good.
Yes,
burning
the
flesh.
Black smoke.
Yeah.
The magic smoke that escapes occasionally.
On occasions.
Yeah, I try not to solder as much as possible. I weld enough. I don't need to solder. But I have seen Lee Lindquist solder in a hotel bathroom sink.
Also, I found this next to the bathroom sink.
And that is just, I don't know.
I'm not really sure if I really want to push that story any further. That's a lot of...
For the Mega Mini, there was things that needed to be done at the last minute. So that was the safest place to solder in a hotel room, apparently. So if you need to solder in a hotel room, the bathroom countertop sink is a good place to do that. Okay, random.
And it's obviously well ventilated.
Yeah, perfect. I'm sure there was a fan.
Yeah, sure. Of course, always there's a.
So thank you for being on the podcast. I really appreciate that. And we'll have to have you back sometime to talk about your display and all that good stuff and be a regular guest. I'm sure.
I'd love to talk about it. Thanks for your support with the MAALG Mini. We're always looking for more people to come. So find us on Facebook, Mid-Atlantic Animated Lighting Group. We affectionately called it the MAALG Mini, and love to have you. So come out to, maybe we can do one on location. Maybe next year we can do the professional triers from our Mini.
Oh, that
would be cool.
Pretty cool.
And then you don't have to have your green screen behind you. You can just be like, oh, this is this weird
Just
group
be
of
like
people
all
that
out
got
there.
together on a Saturday.
That is doable. I do have enough stuff to do that.
Yeah.
Because when we started this, I was like, oh, we could do this. And I was like, I don't have nobody close by to do it. So Zoom. So, but thank you. I really appreciate it. And good luck with the rest of your Mini on the future of it. And I hope it grows to be not quite a Mega Mini because that's its own little thing, but a decent sized Mini that brings a lot of people together. And can't wait to see when you guys are going to do next year's and where exactly. And maybe we'll try to go out there. I do need more Minis. So, but yeah, thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
All right, James, thanks.
Guys, we really appreciate it. And, good luck with the SoCal Mini coming up. It's as long as we're bringing new people in, talking about ideas, that's the heart of it. So, and keep giving us good tips out there and the bad ones too, because we got to know where we're coming from.
Got to have the good with the bad and the bad with the good, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
That's why it's me and Brian. No.
You're the bad.
Yeah, it depends
You
on
get it.
oh. With that,
Oh, I'm sorry, you're breaking up. I can't weigh in on this conference.
all right. Well, thank you. And thank you for listening to the end, Bobby. I appreciate it.